We should have had you big.
She said, "Oh,
Nice.
Yes, welcome back to Cover. As you saw tonight's episode, we're talking about Bob Dylan's classic album, Highway 61 Revisited. Should say critically acclaimed, maybe.
A tad.
He's a critically acclaimed artist, so I think just about anything he does, probably considered critically acclaimed, even if it sucks. But I was never a huge fan of Bob Dylan.
Same here.
Especially younger. My buddy made the comment, Bob Dylan was the writer. He was the words, but Arlo Guthrie had the voice. And I tend to agree with him. Arlo Guthrie had a great voice, especially for folk music. But man, Dylan can write a song.
Bro, I just want to say before we get started, we're on a Sunday night.
Yes.
And I want to thank all you guys for not doing the show without me. I was excited when this album came out, although I had never heard this album all the way through. I am glad you guys were able to do it on Sunday because I didn't want to miss this one. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys. I heard this album. I've probably heard this album in the last 2 weeks more than any other album we've done on the show.
I said that to him. I said the exact same thing to him on the way back from Ocala. I said, I've listened to this album more than any other album we've reviewed.
Easy.
So I liked it so much so I bought it. I bought it.
And there's one song in particular that I think I have heard probably 2 or 3 times a day since our last show. Once I heard it for the first time, because I don't think if I've heard it, I had never paid attention to it. And I hear this song, I've heard it constantly over the last 2 weeks. So
Can I guess it?
I'm excited. I don't know if you will be able to. Of course, I've heard like a Rolling Stone, so it's obviously one of the other ones.
I'm gonna say "Ballad of a Thin Man."
That's all I was thinking.
Oh my fucking God! You're a soothsayer. I cannot get that goddamn song out of my head.
I love that song.
I looked into just the thing of the history,
Yep.
The Wikipedia just for that song. That song is on a whole other level, bro.
I agree.
Let's get into it, dude. That song is on a whole other level, dude.
Before we get into it, I want to say something too.
You're permitted. Go ahead.
And I guess it reflects on what you just said, Raul, about being glad that we were able to shift things around. I like doing this show for 2 reasons. One is it gives me a chance it prompts me or excites me or whatever to listen to something that I haven't listened to in a long time, or listen to something new, as with the last album. The other is getting to hang out with you guys.
Of course, yeah.
And talk about an album or just random shit like we did a month and a half ago or something.
Yeah.
So for me, it doesn't matter when we do it. We could do it Tuesday after I get off of work. I don't give a shit.
I'm the same way, pretty much. My work schedule changed, so I can stay up later. So
I think we're all in the same. Yeah. We all feel the same. Yeah.
Plus, I'm on vacation right now, so nothing matters.
Nice.
Yeah. Jim's on vacation this week. I'm on vacation next week.
Nice. And I'm always on vacation.
Well,
rubbing it in.
I can't help it. I couldn't. I had to join in. You know, I had to put my 2 cents. Let's get into it, bro. Jim, you nailed it, dude. I guess you feel the same way about that song, bro. Oh my God, I've heard that song in my sleep. I've heard it, and I'm not tired of it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
All right, Highway 61 is Bob's 6th album. So he 3 years over a 3-year period, 6 albums. Starting to seem commonplace, and I should add that this one is the oldest one we've done so far.
Okay.
Before this one, I think it was either Revolver or what's the Beach Boys album we did?
Pet Sounds.
Pet Sounds. It was one of those two. I can't remember, but they were, they're all pretty close, within a year of each other. But this is his 6th album, and it was released on August 30th, 1965. Recorded between June and August of 65. So it was released pretty quick after they finished recording. Columbia Studio A in New York City. I think a relatively well-known recording studio, especially for the genre that Bob came out of. Released on Columbia Records, produced by Bob Johnson to start, and then they brought in Tom Wilson. I think beginning with the second sessions. Also noted for Bob's change in direction. Dare I say, going electric, and he was criticized for that in the beginning. Going electric. The album, with the exception of the last track, is all electric. It was the first time he recorded with an all electric band, and it's lauded as one of the first albums to have more importance placed on the album than on singles. Up to that point, singles were the big thing,
Mm-hmm.
and
as far as I'm concerned, this whole album was singles. To me, you know, to me, there wasn't a bad song on this album.
No.
And for an album like this is what I justify being into a top 100 albums of all time, not a band that has a one hit being in the top. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I justify as being in the top greatest. I don't want to mention the other band names that I'm referring to, but you guys know.
Yes, we do.
Yes,
that's where I stand. And also, which I think is pretty cool, this album has, quite a bit of darkness to it. And this is, I would say, about the same time, the Beatles came over in 64. 65 years later, the Beatles are still singing She Loves You.
Yeah, I want to hold your hand. Yeah, and
all the pop stuff, and Dylan's keeping it dark with some blues and all that good stuff, man. But yeah, I knew it was an older album, but I didn't realize that it was 65. I don't know. That's just me. And like I said before, I never was real big into Dylan. There was a few songs that I liked, from various points in his career. But after listening to this album and maybe just getting older and maturing in the music and stuff a little more, that I think I have a newfound love for Dylan.
I have listened to Dylan. My brother got me into Dylan. I have like the greatest hits, but I think there was only one other album that I really heard the whole thing. Dude, this guy's on a whole. There's everybody, and then there's this guy, dude. His, oh my god, dude, he's just like you talk about like Morrison. He's a poet, right?
Yep.
Dude, Morrison. This guy's on a whole other level, bro.
Oh, absolutely.
On a whole, the words he uses, my god, you could see the songs in your mind, bro. It's just on a whole other level, dude.
Speaking of that, what I'm gonna say about his lyrics in this album that I noticed in quite a few different songs, it reminds me, and he refers to like at least 3 different songs. He like sings about Old Testament stuff. You know what I'm saying? And some of his lyrics that he says, you have to, I guess, also be alive in the times, but it's like the book of Revelations, you know, how John wrote about this, and this, but actually it was like code for, you had to decipher it, and it actually meant this. And I've heard a few songs on here. It's like some of the wording he uses, it's like, okay, he's saying, you know, for instance, the sun's not yellow, it's chicken. I mean, it's stuff like that. Is like,
it's nuts.
To me, it was like friggin' the book of Revelation, where you can decipher some of the lyrics he's saying, but you know he means something else.
Something else. Everything means something else, or he's trying to show you this. Dude, this guy is like, I even went and I saw this interview that he did on 60 Minutes, like in 2006 or something, and he's like, I can't do that again. I don't know how that came, and it was just
60 Minutes.
Yeah, the 60 Minutes.
And he said he had sold his soul to
his soul, and I can't do that now. I don't know how I did it then. It was just coming out, and dude, he was just talking about everything that was going on, bro, and it was just open your eyes. You know, you don't know what's going on.
He was in the moment.
Yeah, dude, he was in the moment, and then some, dude.
Yeah,
it's just blew me away.
I want to touch on what you said, Raul, about Jim Morrison. Jim Morrison was a poet, yes. Bob Dylan is a storyteller.
Totally, bro.
This guy is like that guy that everybody would gather around.
Yeah.
At the end of the week, and just listen to him tell. He's like Paul Harvey.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know who Paul Harvey is. He's
Paul Harvey. I love Paul Harvey, and that's the rest of the song.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the way he was writing and what he was writing about is stuff that, I mean, it meant something.
It meant something.
It meant something then. It meant something to him. It's relevant now.
Yeah, it's relevant. Exactly, right?
I think it might be more relevant now than it was then.
Yeah, you know? I agree with that.
You could. Oh, it's dude. It's just on a whole other level, bro. It wasn't about love and getting the girl. You know, he did have that later on, and I'm sure he does have songs like that. But it's just it's so much more, bro. It's
definitely about the struggle.
Yes,
there's a lot of blues in this, as far as I'm concerned, And
it's not just the lyrics, man. The music's amazing.
Yeah. And I also heard there's a couple songs in particular that I heard that I've heard, and you can tell Dylan influenced other people.
Yes.
Sorry.
Bless you.
I want to say it was the song Just Like Tom Thumb's Blues. Dude, that opening riff with the piano. Tell me that don't sound like Werewolf of London.
Yeah.
And the last song, Desolation Road. Dude, when I heard him sing that, it sounded just like Joe Strummer when Joe Strummer was doing his solo stuff. Even the voice kind of sounded similar.
Wow, dude, everybody makes fun of his voice too, but I can't imagine anybody singing these songs like him. I just can't. When he's in in the Ballad of a Thin Man, there's a point that you could almost hear him laugh before he's, you could, and then he catches. It's like he was smiling or something, and then he goes into the song, and I just love it every time I hear that. It's like, dude, I think he was laughing, and then he continued. It was awesome. Little Bo, what do you think about this?
Oh, it was awesome.
Was it for you?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I put it on for my daughter, and I don't think she's like, I don't know if I'm there yet.
When I first listened to it, I listened to it in my room. I was playing a game, and then that was like a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
And today on the car ride, I just sat and just listened to all the lyrics, and it just like blew my mind.
It's crazy.
Like,
oh, not to mention with this album, right after, I want to say, the last show we did,
mm-hmm.
when we said, "Oh, that's going to be our next," very next day, I was listening to this album because I was so excited to hear it.
I was why was that? Why?
I don't know.
I was as well. I felt I heard it the next day, a few times. I don't know. I don't know why I was so excited too.
It's weird. It's crazy. The only song, well, I mean, there's a couple songs that I was familiar with already, obviously,
right.
like a Rolling Stone and Highway 61 Revisited. I knew those two songs for sure. So I was excited, just for the Highway 61 Revisited song, just because I dig that song. It's a great song.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's good. Great.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing.
And I couldn't even the me 5 years ago or 10 or 15, 20 years ago, hearing myself say Bob Dylan's awesome, I would have never thought it.
It's almost like it's like everybody says it's the Beatles and then everybody else. It might be Bob Dylan and everybody else, bro. It might be, dude. As far as, dude, it's just the words, dude. Just the words. It's just, and what he was saying and how he was just like, I think you said it, Don. He was just so in tune with what was going on, bro. It's just insane. It's just
that's what Ballad of a Thin Man is a big reflection of the things that were going on and how those that were seeing weren't actually seeing what was going on. And
dude, it's a great diss song, bro.
It's
such a badass song, bro. He's just dissing on everybody, and it's like, you guys are just not seeing what's going on, bro. Open your eyes, man. You think you know, and you got the education, and it's just you're all high and mighty, and you think you know what's what, and it's like, dude, open your eyes, man. There's a lot of shit going on, and you're not watching.
Yeah. For every song that I heard on this album, I tried to like visualize what was going on during that time.
Exactly.
If he was singing, that's all he was singing about.
It's, dude, a whole other level, dude.
Shout out to Metalhead Comics on Instagram. It was his number that was picked that helped pick this album. And I want to point that out too, for the impact that this album had and the legacy that this album has. This magazine has it at number 86.
There's no way, bro.
And that's something I don't completely understand, because Rolling Stone is at number 4.
Yeah. And their number one song of all time is Like a Rolling Stone.
Yeah. Like a Rolling Stone. Yeah.
And it's jumping around. I think one time it was at number 2, and then it went to 4, and then now I don't know where it's at, but it's top 10.
I'm not sure where it is in this book. I don't remember.
Let me see what I got.
Blonde on Blonde was top 10 on this one.
Blonde on Blonde is the other one that I know.
I think that's the one after this album.
It's Blonde on Blonde, and is it Blood on the Tracks? Is that an album? Or
Blood on the Tracks is the other one, yeah.
Yeah, I used to have that one on vinyl too.
That's another.
I think that was like his divorce album or something. Not sure. Tangled Up.
Number
in-
22.
Dude, it's top 10.
Yeah, number 22. They have it on this. Blood on the Tracks was 29.
This dude, he won the Nobel Prize for what? Poetry.
Yeah, for his lyrics.
And he's one of those guys that just seems like he don't give a fuck, dude.
He don't.
He don't.
Oh
give a-
yeah.
He
Oh,
don't,
He don't show no emotion.
no emotion.
Like that 60 Minutes interview. He was just like,
Just
yeah.
yeah.
He was talking to dudes like
Well,
your song's the number one by Rolling Stone. It's the number one greatest song of all time. It's like, what do you think about that? It's like, this week it's pretty okay, I guess.
Yeah. Next week it'll change.
Maybe he goes behind closed doors, dude, and he goes, yeah, and he's yeah, these idiots think I'm great, but dude, he'll never. He's yeah. He don't. Dude, he's just a badass, bro. He's a badass, bro. I wish the younger people, maybe they will. I don't know, dude. But dude, wow.
I'm definitely gonna start collecting other vinyls of his for sure. After listening to this one and falling in love, now I'm hungry for
More.
what else has he got that I don't know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Donnie, how were the sales on this album?
The sales on this, I think it's a platinum album. I think it's sold 1 million records.
And when it came out, was it a big hit? Because he was already popular. This is what, 6th album, right? So he already was considered. He was already a big deal.
Especially at the folk festivals, he was a big name.
That's crazy. Only 1 million.
Let's see. British press expressed bafflement and admiration for the record. I'm not really seeing any too much on sales, like initial sales. Says another set of message songs and story songs sung in that monotonous and tuneless way by Dylan, which becomes quite arresting as you listen. Melody Maker said Bob Dylan's 6th LP, like all others, is fairly incomprehensible, but nevertheless an absolute knockout. So they didn't understand it, but they knew it was something good. That's what I'm getting out of that.
I guess I could see that. Because they're in it, you know? Things age and you see them a different way. But this shit's insane, dude.
Yeah, like you said your daughter isn't quite there yet. I mean,
yeah.
I wasn't there when I was her age. You know what I mean?
I don't think I was either.
So, I know I wasn't.
I don't, because people make fun of him with the singing and all that, and
yeah,
and it's like
I did,
because he's not the best. He's not the best singer, dude. But I can't imagine anybody else singing this. Right. You know, because the way he just changes, just the tone or the way he delivers the words. He's just sarcastic as hell, you know, and he's just throwing. It's like he sees, and he might not, dude. It's like it's almost like he's in on the joke, and you're not.
Yeah. Well, that's another article pointed out his derisive voice is probably well suited to his material, which it is.
Yes, it is.
Like you just said, you can't see anybody else singing his stuff.
And I looked into
people have.
They have, and that's how I got my knowledge of Dylan as a lyric writer, you know, listening to other people sing it, you know.
Hendrix.
Hendrix, Johnny Cash, tons of other people's done.
Clapton.
And then you hear their versions, and it's almost like their versions take over his versions. And those are like all on the Watchtower. Wait, that's no way. And you think of Jimi Hendrix, you don't think of him.
I don't even know. I'm not 100% sure. I could be wrong, but I don't recall ever hearing his version of Along the Watchtower.
I don't know if I have either. I don't know. That's a good point, because I don't know if I have either. Another one is Knocking on Heaven's Door. I've heard his version.
Oh, yeah. I like that version. But Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, that's off of Pat Garrett.
I'm in awe of him right now. I know we're gonna pick an album tonight for the next 2 weeks, but I'm still probably gonna be listening to this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I'll probably be listening. I'll listen to this again tomorrow. I listened to it twice today.
So did I. Yeah. On the way to Ocala and on the way back.
Yeah.
When did I listened to it just before here? Did I listen to it this morning? I know I listened to it yesterday. I can't remember if I listened to it this morning too or not. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I might have listened to it twice yesterday. I think in the morning when I was washing dishes.
Now, Donnie, all the other bands that we've listened to, have you ever listened to any of those twice a day, or?
Yes. Number of the Beast. Number of the Beast was heavy rotation when I was younger. So.
Oh yeah, me too.
I mean, that's kind of.
We'll
set things aside.
This is the most I've heard of any of the albums being an album that I never had in high rotation. That I had never listened to.
Yes.
Master of Puppets I had in high rotation.
I did as well.
At one point. I got to look at some of the ones we did. Skinner's Second Helping.
The only album that I continuously listen to that we've done is Dark Side of the Moon. I listen to Dark Side of the Moon at least once a week. At least once a week, I just put it on. I heard it today. I put it on YouTube, and I just had it playing in the background as we were doing stuff around the house. I don't know if my wife and Stephanie could handle Dylan all the time. So I was hearing him more on my headphones, so I wouldn't bother them. But I'll put on Dark Side of the Moon, and they just know, okay, he's just listening to Pink Floyd. But
when I was prepping for the album, I think that's when especially if it was something I hadn't listened to in quite a while, like Back in Black, I didn't, because that's kind of a know by heart.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But albums that I hadn't listened to in quite a while, like Nothing Shocking, I was listening to that constantly.
I heard that a few times, but still
leading up to it.
I've heard, that's on my all-time list, but this that I had never completely heard, dude, easily, out of any other album that I hadn't heard before, this is the one that is like, I'll keep on listening. What is your favorite
albums that?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say albums that I have not listened to since.
Oh, there's a couple.
Whitesnake and Tommy.
Whitesnake, Tommy, and Pet Sounds.
And the Eagles.
Oh yeah, Pet Sounds.
Eagles.
I didn't.
I've heard that one a lot of times. You hear it on the radio, so it's like you don't even have to put that on, because you'll hear it if it comes on the radio.
You hear the one good song off the album on the radio
all the time.
About that album artwork,
such a good
for this. I kind of saw a video where they talked about this album cover, and they showed the location where it was taken. And if I'm not mistaken, they said they took Dylan's picture and then went back and added this guy behind him.
I read that.
Like he wasn't really standing there, just like to kind of fill in.
See, I didn't read. What I read earlier was that they added, or what was it? They added him. It's down here in the cover. Sitting on the stoop apartment of his manager Albert Grossman in Gramercy Park, he placed Dylan's friend Bob Newworth behind Dylan to give it extra color. So I don't know if that means they edited him into the photo or, you know what I mean?
That's what I read as well. I don't know.
But I know that the conversation leading up to it is that he had.
That's probably what I misunderstood when they said added him.
He had the Triumph motorcycle T-shirt, and
yeah, he wanted to show it off.
He had just gotten it.
You might be right though, Jim. They might have added it out.
I mean,
it makes sense too.
Yeah, they had edited photo cropping back in.
Yeah,
not computer cropping, but do anything in a dark room.
So you might be right.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to revisit that video and see.
Let me see it.
But they were talking about his expression, the expression on his face, and they said the photographer said, it was Daniel Kramer, by the way, was the photographer, said he's hostile, or it's a hostile moodiness. He's almost challenging me or you or whoever's looking at it. What are you going to do about it, Buster?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the vibe, you know. So I don't know if that kind of maybe reflects on his change in musical direction, as far as, you know, this is a straight up rock album versus the things before that were folk.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that comes into play with the Triumph shirt too. You know, go a little more rough around the edges, like a biker. You know.
What is your guys' favorite song on this?
Jeez, that's hard for me to pick.
Mine's Tombstone Blues.
That's a good song, bro.
So good.
I like Tombstone Blues too, but to pick something different.
You know what's harder? What's the worst song on the album that you don't like? That's probably harder, right?
That is harder, yeah.
I don't like Queen Jane.
I love Queen Jane. Queen Jane. The one. I
don't know if it's.
You don't know what.
I don't know if it's because I just don't kind of listen to it. Maybe I'm not listening to it when I'm listening to it. You know what I mean? Because it kind of goes Ballad of the. I'm still thinking about Ballad of the Thin Man, and then it goes into Highway 61, which is fucking phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. For me, the one that I'm like, I like it, but it's probably my least favorite is Desolation Road.
Yeah,
I think that's mine. But I don't hate it, and I don't think it's a bad song, and I will listen to it, and it's a good song. I just think of all of them, that's the one that's really doesn't.
It's so freaking long.
It just doesn't. Yeah, it just doesn't. But every songs are fire.
Yeah, I can't pick a bad one. I really can't.
You can't. There's no bad songs. Even the one that's the one I like the least. But it's not that I don't like it. And Ballad of a Thin Man that shit's on a whole other level, bro. Yeah. I thought it was gonna be, like a Rolling Stone, yeah. But dude, Ballad of a Thin Man.
The organ is the best part of the song.
I'm gonna go for my favorite though. I'm gonna go Tombstone Blues.
Yeah. Excellent.
I like Tombstone Blues too. My research, I was reading, somebody equated it to kind of a Vietnam, an anti-war type ballad, And I guess you can kind of see it because Mama's in the kitchen with the Tombstone Blues. If that doesn't talk about,
Mama was in the factory with no shoes.
that's what it is.
And Daddy was in the alleyway looking for food. He was in the kitchen with the Tombstone Blues.
Tombstone Blues.
I told my wife, I'm like, I wonder if they had Tombstone pizzas back then.
I don't think so.
And he hated it that much.
What do you want on your tombstone?
Oh, we got Tombstone pizzas, Bob.
Dude, I can't wait to hear this album again.
Me too. I think tomorrow I might put on the vinyl because I haven't listened to the vinyl yet.
It'll probably sound really good. It'll probably sound really good, dude.
Brand new. Oh,
Yeah.
you know it will.
I think if it feels like an original, it might sound better
Yeah.
to get the cracking and
Yeah.
add to the eeriness almost of it.
He's what, like 80 years old now? He's
Older than that.
older than that?
He's got to be.
He did that 60-minute, I think it was like in 2004, 2005, and he was like in his 60s.
And I think the 60 Minutes was like in the late 90s.
No, it was early.
He's got a birthday coming up.
Might have been.
He will be 81.
Oh, that's right. He's on the 24th or the 23rd or something like that.
May 24th.
Yeah.
Next week.
Next Tuesday.
Yep.
And he'll be how old?
81.
Wow. I also read too that, well, in that interview, he said, bro, people were just thinking like he had the answers. I even put out bad albums, so they wouldn't come after me.
Yeah.
Dude, I was like, dude, that's badass, bro. He put out bad albums on purpose, and they were still good. God.
Yeah, I liked his whole attitude that he had when
Totally.
You just don't care.
Just don't care.
even with the older footage of him from the 60s during this time where he's doing a press conference.
Right.
And they were asking him the question, and he was just going off in left field.
God, I'm not. Wow. And he was probably in his 20s.
He was kind of a punk rocker before punk rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that. That first performance of the Folk Fest when he went electric is
Yeah, Newport.
I got to see that because I have not seen that.
it's probably like one of the most important
Yeah.
moments in music.
Yeah,
When he went electric, right?
when he got booed.
Yeah, hard.
They
like
freaking
louder
booed
than his
him.
guitar.
It's like,
He sold out.
yeah,
That was his sold out.
Yep.
That was the ultimate sellout moment, right? Because you don't even know Dylan, and you've heard of that, right? People, Dylan went electric, the ultimate sellout. And dude, he did not sell out. He just evolved.
well,
You know what?
Like he said, the times are changing.
Yeah.
he's sold 125 million records over his career, so he kind of sold out.
He did, but dude, they said it's good music. And the thing I read also is like, and I actually heard this, like he does his concerts later on and he changes it all around and you can't understand what he's saying and he sings it different. And you don't know what you're getting when you go to one of his concerts, dude.
I think he played in Woodstock '94, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so, yes.
Dude, can you imagine bands changing their songs for their fan and not give it? He don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna give you what you want. I feel like playing it like this, and this is how I'm gonna play it tonight. Whatever. If you don't like it, don't come. And people still go.
I don't think people really care, though, to be honest with you.
I don't think they care.
I think just seeing him and hearing him is enough. I wish I could see him live.
Me too. But imagine somebody like, I don't know, Metallica. And they changed the lyrics or they changed the way they sang it or the tune or the speed. think people will still be like, yeah, let's go.
No, probably not.
They already hate him for doing the Black Album.
Exactly. Or
Yeah.
not even being able to tell what singing in slurred speech, or you can't even make out the words. People will be like, what the fuck?
They already gone down a bad path of bad albums in a row.
Yeah.
Load of shit.
I don't think they'd want to
Yeah.
chance doing that again.
They can.
Load, reload. Saint Anger.
No, dude, this album this guy's on a whole different level. I'm gonna be listening to more of his stuff. I was super happy with this album. I just had a feeling this was gonna be good.
The album before this, I'd recommend. Bringing it all back home. That's a good one.
Never heard that. I've never. I think Blonde on Blonde is the only one I've heard. And the singles, all his hits and all that.
Blood on the Tracks.
I think I've heard that. Which one's the one with Tangled Up in Blue? Blonde on Blonde or Blood? I think it's Blood on the Tracks.
What the hell?
And then you hear a song from later. I think have you guys heard Lady Lay? You've never heard that song?
No.
Yeah.
Look up that song. I think it's called Lady Lay, and you can't even tell it's him, bro. Or at least I can. It doesn't. It sounds nothing like what we just heard.
Yeah, that's kind of like The Man in Me from like The Big Lebowski.
Yes.
For the longest time, I didn't know that was Bob Dylan.
Yeah. Listen to Lady Lay, and it's the same thing. You can't tell it's him. Not really. You really got to pay attention. He's just a badass, bro. He's just a badass.
I think that is Blood on Tracks that Tangled Up in Blue is on.
And I've heard that album. He's
all along.
Where's Along the Watchtower?
That's John Wesley Hardin.
I gotta hear that one.
That was that's the album after Blonde on Blonde, I believe. Yes. Yeah, that's the album right after Blonde on Blonde.
Dude, even that name of the album sounds cool. Blonde on Blonde, Blood on the Tracks.
Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. That's the one that Knocking on Heaven's Door from.
It just sounds cool.
A lot of his album titles are "Is Slow Train Coming?" Knocked Out Loaded.
Bo, do you see him a lot like Johnny Cash?
Who? Bob Dylan?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the same vein, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I do too.
Both of them are phenomenal songwriters.
Yeah.
I think Johnny's obviously a better singer.
Yeah.
But same era. Yes, I would definitely say for me, Dylan is like Cash.
They're like outlaws, bro.
Yeah.
And they pretty much both got the same attitude.
Yeah.
Like, don't care, punk before punk.
Yep.
Yeah,
I would also compare him to Bob Marley.
Yeah. Have you guys ever heard their collab they did, Johnny and Bob?
No.
They did a couple songs together.
Really?
They're pretty cool. I like them.
I didn't know that.
There's a video of them recording one of them on YouTube.
Who was in the Highwaymen with Johnny?
Chris Christopherson, Waylon, and Willie.
That's right. And Bob was in the Wilburys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
I don't remember him in the Wilburys, man. I don't remember him in there.
Me neither. But I guess he was.
I guess he was, but I don't remember him there.
Yeah, because George Harrison and
Tom Petty
was in there. And then the dude who doesn't age.
From ELO? That guy? Which is the guy that doesn't age?
The dude that has the afro and the beard.
Yeah,
Jeff Lynne from ELO.
Yeah, from ELO, that guy. Yeah.
Never ages. Yeah, he still looks the exact same as he did 35 years ago.
Not even 50 years ago.
And Roy Orbison.
He was born that way.
Man, I don't remember Dylan in that.
I'll have to watch the video again, the music video.
But he fit. Yeah, I'm glad he was in there because he fits right in.
Yeah, the Wilburys is probably like one of the best super groups ever.
I'll share the.
They're all massive, right?
Picture.
God, they're all massive.
Yeah, they are.
Looks like the Ramones, man. Looks like the Ramones from back here.
Roy, that's Jeff Lynne, Bob in the middle, George and Tom. And now there's only two of them left, Jeff and Bob.
That's right, dude. There's only two left. Man, I wish we could play music on this show.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool?
It would.
But I'd have come in playing Ballad of the Thin Man.
Excuse me?
Huh?
What was that? What would you say?
I'd have said I'd have started the show playing Ballad of the Thin Man. If that's the case.
Totally.
Because I don't know that Bob would give a shit, but his publishing company might.
Oh yeah. Like right now, I got the stream on, but on the other window I got that I'm not looking at, it's the meaning of the Ballad of a Thin Man, and then I got all the lyrics because I forget, and it's like, dude, because something is happening here, but you don't know what it is. Mr. Jones. Dude, this is such a badass song, bro. All the different imagery that he talks about, dude. The one-eyed midget, shouting the word "now." What reason? And he says, "How?" Oh, dude, just the imagery.
He is like a storyteller. He paints pictures in your head.
Yeah, that's what folk music's all about too. It's telling stories.
Dude, with every verse is a different story.
Yeah, and he's nodded a few times to Woody Guthrie, who was a phenomenal storyteller in his own right. Dude,
and I got to tell you guys, this line, I'm not crazy about it in the song. I'm going to tell you what it is. I don't know how he fits it in, but it works. But it's like it's a little awkward, but it's to tax deductible charity organizations. I'm like, dude, how did he fit that lyric in this song? Dude, this guy's a wordsmith, man. A wordsmith.
What amazes me too is that he was able to remember all those lyrics. You know what I mean? Them songs are long, and he sings through the whole song.
That's a great point, dude.
Yeah, there's a couple of those have 6-7 verses. What the hell?
How do you remember all that stuff?
Especially Tombstone Blues is like, jeez, the amount of like.
How did he remember all that shit? I can't. I don't. I've heard it today, and I can't even remember one or two lines. This guy's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
This guy's crazy.
But something else that he did with this is the talent that he brought in, like Mike Bloomfield, from Paul Butterfield, and Al Cooper, who was a founding member of Blood, Sweat, and Tears. For those that don't know, he brought him in, and I like the comment about. And this sets the tone for what he wanted to do and who he was. That he was told that Al Cooper was there to play guitar, and Bob said, "I'll decide on that." And Al played a lot of the organ on the record and various other instruments as well. So it's like.
Who played the little whistle?
That's what I was gonna ask, bro.
Highway 61. I remember when I was a kid, I had some of those.
What
You
is
buy-
that? A wazoo or something? What's
Yeah, it's an arcade. It had like a little fan in it or whatever you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
That might have been Bob.
How
He-
many
he like,
songs have
he has
that?
like harmonica strap. He has like a little kazoo strap. Goes over his shoulders.
Yeah, that might have been Bob.
It's like
it's not
having
it's
that
not
thing
noted.
blast off in that song like that. It's like doesn't really belong here, but I guess it works.
It gets your attention, right?
Yeah.
It gets your attention. I thought that I was gonna ask the same shit, bro.
Oh, okay. That's called an Acme siren, and it was Bob.
Okay.
He must have had fun with that.
Yeah. Charlie McCoy was another guy, country guitarist that did the guitar work on Desolation Row. Frank Owens, Bobby Gregg. Bruce Langhorne. I know that name from somewhere. Oh, Greenwich folk scene. Okay. Anyway.
Isn't there a tree horn?
Yeah, so
The Big Lebowski? Tree horn?
Tree horn.
Tree horn, right? One of the characters.
I think so.
Yeah.
Peaked at number 3 in the Billboard charts. So even then it did very well.
Yeah, it did good.
But I don't know if initial album sales they had to have been relatively decent if it made it top 5.
Yeah.
So, but
It's a classic, dude. Hands
Yeah.
down.
without a doubt.
Hands down.
All right.
What are we doing?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
What are we listening to for
What are we doing?
the next 2 weeks?
Sure. Boo. Boo. All right.
Wow, not too much left. Look at that.
Getting a little down. I think is there 10 left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 albums left. Clickety click.
Ooh.
Jeff Tull.
Nice.
That's a good album.
I dig it.
Yeah. I haven't heard that album in 2 decades.
I've never heard this album. I know the main song. I've never heard this album. So
I remember it being pretty good. But like I said, that was 25 years ago, maybe.
I remember MTV playing this video, and I was like, "Dude, this seems weird, bro. This is a little dark." When they would show him on the park bench.
Yeah.
Cool. Who picked this one?
This was brought to us by, I have TMH.9.8 written down here. Must be somebody from Instagram. And I'm going to have to see if I can't look it up to see who it is, or if I abbreviated something, or but yeah. So next episode, Jethro Tull's Aqualung, probably their most well-known record, unless you want to count the one that they won the Grammy for.
Oh yeah, beat
Best metal.
Metallica, right?
For best metal performance.
What was it? Injustice for All.
I might have been. I'm not sure.
It was. I think it beat one of the Jane's Addiction was up for that award too. And Justice for All was too.
Wow.
And Aqualung won.
No, not Aqualung.
Not Aqualung, right? The one you're talking. Yeah, not Aqualung. Aqualung was what, in the 70s?
Yes. When did that come out? 73.
That far back?
I thought it was in the late 60s myself.
I thought it was like in the late 70s.
71.
Wow.
March 19th, 71.
Wow, I did not know that. So this album came out in 71, and that Grammy was what, late 80s, right?
Yes.
Was that the first year hard rock was, I think, up for the award, or heavy metal was up for it in the Grammys? It might have been the first time they made that award.
Not sure.
I'm not sure. I think it is. If I remember.
I can't find that album. Broadsword and the Beast. Crest of the Name?
I don't know it.
Yeah. Crest of a Knave was the album that won the Grammy. Hard rock metal performance, vocal or instrumental. Over and Justice for All. I've never heard that album.
I don't think anybody else has either. Very few people. The Grammy voters are the ones
Yeah.
that heard it, right?
Whoever was on that committee must have.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I know it was a big brouhaha when that happened.
Yeah.
It was in the news. It was big. They lost credibility. But whatever. All right. Let's go listen to Highway 66, 61, right?
Yeah.
Let's go hear that again.
Route 66.
Route 66. We're going to Cali.
Eat your cakes. Eat your cakes.
I haven't even been drinking tonight, dude, and I talk this way. I'm just drinking water.
All right. 2 weeks. What is that? May 28th. Jethro Tull's Aqualung. Tonight we did that album right there. Check it out. Also recommend Blonde on Blonde, Blood on the Tracks. Just snoop through Bob's catalog. He's got a great catalog of music.
Definitely did. The guy's an original.
In the meantime, get out there and listen to some music.